Who is that on the outside? Is it Craig Oaks?
Who, where?
Underway into turns number 1. Matt Ale and then other 91, and we have one around in the bottom of 3 and 4. It's the 6-time Cajun Cruiser Classic champion, Justin Whitehead. Race fans, I apologize. I will get you the rest of these full lineups. Kind of hard at times as you get glares up here into the booth. But anyway, as R.C. Hagan, the young man who was racing the rookie limited modified division over the last several years before moving up to race full-time in limited modifieds a year ago. He was racing the rookie limiteds. Oh, and second place driver to the 23, going to loop it right in front of the field, and we may get caution if he's not able to refire. Mason Jordan in 23 going to draw the first caution of the afternoon here at the Hill. That's going to be Mason Jordan.
What was the other 9 you said?
Down the back straightaway, underway in this one. And limited modified heat race number 1 presented by R&R Timber. They're 1 by 1 by 2 by 2 by 1 all the way through the tail here. R.C. Hagan continues to lead here at Boothill as they head off into 1. But here comes Dylan Spear, the Marshall Texan. Spear going to take a peek to the inside. Thought better of it there. Had to get on the binders. Not quite yet ready to put the 78 in his hip pocket. As they go into turn number 3. Here comes the freight train out of Farmerville, B-Ball. Stalking and hawking and working his way up through the field here in B75. The AB Performance Bubba Green towing B75 of Brandon Ball. Oh, and all over the tail tank of the 78 of R.C. Hagan's, the 22 mag. Firing a few bullets there. No blanks to be fired for the 22 mag of Spear out of Marshall. As R.C. Hagan letting it hang all out. Everybody kind of tucked in right around the hub of the Boothill Speedway right now. All the way to the tail to the 36J of Justin Whitehead, the 6-time Cajun Classic champions. They go 3 wide there at the tail. Down the back straightaway. Here comes Ball, trying to fight to the inside of the 23 of Tupper. Back off into 1 and off the exit of 2, headed down the back straightaway towards turn number 3. R.C. Hagan driving one of the best heat race performances of his life so far. R.C. Hagan, the young man, only 18 years old, out of South Louisiana, rolling up front like a big shot with the Boothill Speedway point leader nipping at his heels. He tucked the quarter panel all the way in on the left rear quarter of that 78. Dylan Spear may have the better car right now, but can't find a lane up top to get around. As Ball has meticulously worked his way up to 3rd in the Pro Run Transmission, AB Performance Bubba Green towing IRP chassis, Best Engine Power B75. Ball is undoubtedly one of the standouts here in the Arklatex region for limited modified action. He is a major threat to take home 5,000 this weekend. You're going to want to keep your eyes on that B75. And as Spear lets it hang out there off the exit of 4, it's going to open up the door for Ball to make a stab to the inside for 2nd. Bridesmaids honors up for grabs right now. They're going to go door to door down the back straightaway. Brandon Ball and Spear going at it hot and heavy for the runner-up. And this time by, it'll be 2 to go for your flagman, Keith Parker. Keith Parker, the judge, jury, and executioner every weekend here for the 2017 season, and we get caution into 1. Caution into turns 1 and 2. I can't tell from this vantage point. So the young man, R.C. Hagan, out of South Louisiana, trying to get his first ever heat race victory here at the Boothill Speedway, smashes his foot through the floorboard, and we are backing away. Ball going to take 2nd away from Spear. Heading back into turn number 1. Spear going to tuck in the low line, and here comes Ball into the outside. They're 1 by 2. Here comes Ball down the back straightaway, taking over the race lead. R.C. Hagan with a big bobble. Front R.C. Bug as they go for the race leading to 3 and 4. Getting a little bit fired up here. It's heating up! Off of turn number 4, they're side by side for the race lead. By half of a cat's whisker at the flag stand. That time, Ball had it. Final time down the back straightaway. Checkers coming out next time by. They're dead even down the back straightaway to the midpoint. Into turn number 3 for the final time. Boothill Speedway's point leader, the driver who's won 7 here since 2012. Got a drag race to the line. Your opening night winner, or opening heat race winner of the night, goes to the Farmerville Freight Train, Brandon Ball on B75. He'll steal that one by half of a cat's whisker at the flag stand. Get the inside of 2 out of Carbon, Texas. This guy has a lot of victories in this express chassis in Texas, and that one's not going to work as Elliott got a little bit trigger happy on the throttle there. Service.
I never have to look.
Billy Mazzell the third on the outside of row number 2, the 1996 Super Champion Ricky Ingles in 81. The Texas Jerky, Texas Fire and Safety, Swinson Racing Products, number 91 out of Marshall, Texas. Craig Oaks, and around goes the Carbon Texan, Lightning McQueen. But he'll keep it strolling and rolling. No harm, no foul. We stay clean and green here with the Boothill Speedway and heat race number 2, presented by IRP Race Cars. Down the front boulevard we go. It's a pair of IRPs running the top shelf with Elliott with the race lead. Here comes Oaks, going to slide to the inside for the race lead. Craig Oaks up on the wheel tonight. 5K at stake, you know you got to take what you get whenever it's shown to you. And Craig Oaks showing no mercy right now as they go 3 wide for second. Oh, and we got one hard in the front straightaway wall. Contact, the Triple C of Coon making contact there with Elliott, and Elliott scooting through the infield in reverse. That was a nasty lick there for Elliott. To the front. The K9 of Brandon Hightower will start tail of heat number 3. I'm not sure if Hennigan has his 16 on the side of Cuvion's 30 or not, but Hennigan could be a threat to come from dead last to win, but we'll get there when we get there. Right now, Craig Oaks going to put his foot through the full board. We are back on the way here from the Boothill Speedway. Rogers and Rance Prince didn't quite get going to expectation here. They're going to go side by side for the race lead off the exit of corner number 2 down the back straightaway. Here comes Ricky Ingles to the race lead. Ricky Ingles, your most recent limited modified victor here at Boothill on May the 27th, goes to the race lead in 81. Ingles, who has raced with the likes of Scott Bloomquist, Billy Moyer, and some of the greats over the years, and super late model competition. Had a great run at his home track at Lone Star Speedway and a Have a Tampa race back in 1996, the year he won the super late model championship. Takes a liking to these limited modified cars. He said they drive very, very comparable actually to how a late model did. Tires awfully are much skinnier, as you can see, and a lot less power, but Ingles has really found his niche in this division, and he is a threat week in and week out at no matter what racetrack that he chooses to check into. So after Gabe Tucker lost the handle on the opening lap and had to go to the tail, he has fought and clawed his way tooth and nail back up to the 3rd position in 95. Lightning McQueen is rocking and rolling around the Boothill Speedway. The 95 machine out of Carbon, Texas, of Gabe Tucker up the 3rd. Mazzell the 3rd and 4th. So Ricky Ingles continues to lead as we are 5 in, 5 to go. This one getting a little strung out, the first heat race of the night, with a few cautions in it. We've had a pair of them in this one as well, but the first one didn't quite get strung out the way they are in this one, as Ricky Ingles is setting a torrid pace around the Boothill Speedway right now. Ingles from 6th to the lead in this one. Craig Oaks still rides a comfortable 2nd, and then the Swinson Racing, Texas Fire and Safety, Texas Jerky, IRP chassis, Miller horsepower number 91. The Carbon Texan, Gabe Tucker, and his KSG racing engine. Of course, Tucker is back in a Hughes by 89 Motorsports chassis. Stephen Whitaker Jr. putting out those cars down in Corpus Christi, Texas. Your inaugural winner of this event. Tucker was in an Express chassis just a few years ago, but quite a few of those Hughes by 89 Motorsports chassis here this weekend. As 2 laps to go. It'll be 1 to go when the 81 meets the flag stand this next time by. Ricky Ingles out of Longview, Texas, setting a torrid pace around the Boothill Speedway, a place that he has over 50 career victories in the one. The RKT operating PTS racing engine powered number 81 for the final time down the back chute into turn number 3. Off of turn number 4, ready to receive a face full of checkered flag from Longview, Texas, goes to Ricky Ingles in 81. Second across the stripe goes to the Marshall Texan in 91 of Craig Oaks. Finishing 3rd will be the Hughes by 89 Motorsports chassis number 95 for the Carbon Texan of Gabe Tucker. Is that Brandon Bueller?
What's the car number?
61 on the pole.
You can't read my sign-in sheet?
No, I shouldn't have to.
I believe that's Brandon Bueller on the pole out of Denham Springs, Louisiana. The 27, that's Chase Del Rio, the reigning Dustin Duncan Memorial winner. We're 2 by 1 by 3 wide off the exit of 2 on the opening lap of this one. Jason Ingles splitting the gap against the Walmart Special 2 for the price of 1. Ingles in this one. I'll get through this field and tell you all about these drivers in this one. With Del Rio making a power move to the outside of Eric Bartucci. Eric Bartucci in the 61, not Brandon Bueller, and Bartucci nearly lost the handle into 1. Here comes Penn. Right now, IRP race cars running 2, 3, and 4 with a Western Flyer up front in the form of the 27 of Del Rio. Chase the real Del Rio. Won $3,300 here at the most recent Dustin Duncan Memorial event here at Boothill Speedway. So he likes the racetrack here in Greenwood, Louisiana. We'll see what he can do and try to hold off some of the best in the business. Tough break for Lockie. The Tyler Texan, Kelly Lockie, in his PTS Power number 14. IRP is done in this one early. Rapid Roy, Aaron Roy in the Texarkana Emergency Center IRP chassis number 35. And here comes Ingles. Ingles going to storm to the outside for second. And I tell you, I've often said this, folks, the reigning Louisiana State Dirt Track Championship winner in the limited modified division, racing Jason Ingles, going to clear second over the 5 of Casey Penn out of Shreveport. Penn going to fight back to his inside and say, I'm not done yet with you, Jason. What I was getting at a moment ago, Jason Ingles has absolutely been one of the best to run the top side of the Boothill Speedway that I've seen anyway in my 28 years of existence on planet Earth of watching that driver here at Boot Hill. He is bar none one of the best to hammer that outside. Winning that Louisiana State Dirt Track Championship a year ago, and a little bit of sparks, if you will, and a wild finish there with John O. Whittington. Right now, down the back straightaway, Ingles has his crosshairs dialed to the back deck lid of that Western Flyer chassis number 27, the Bulletproof Tees entry for Chase Del Rio. Del Rio out of West Monroe, Louisiana. The way Ingles is able to diamond his car off the corners at the top side of 4 and kind of diamond off to the bottom side of 4. He'll go to the inside of Del Rio into turn number 3. They're going to side by side for the race lead. Double north through 3 and 4 for the race lead. And Ingles is going to etch ahead at the line. Jason Ingles to the point here at the Boot Hill Speedway. Aaron Roy back in the 4th spot, still in 35, trying to work his way to the tail tank of the 5 of Casey Penn. Every single one of these drivers right now in the top 4 have a win this season at some point at one of the racetracks here in the Arklatex. So caution is going to come out for the 7th seed for Shongaloo. BJ Moore, how about that, behind the wheel of the 1R this weekend? The Falk, Arkansas racer, BJ Moore. So we're back on the way here from the Boot Hill Speedway. I'm telling you, there's some good racers in this heat race. Look out down the back straightaway. That was a close call there for Hightower. Splitting the gap there with Bartucci in the 61 to the 1 of BJ Moore. Off of 4. Ingles still continues to lead in 12. They're going to go side by side for third and 1 and 2. That's the best battle on the racetrack right now. Off the exit of corner number 2, down the back straightaway. Aaron Roy trying to make his presence felt. Who's going to drive it in deeper into turn number 3 this time by? It's 2 laps to go for racing Jason Ingles. Side by side still for third. Roy going to go to third into 1. Aaron Roy, Rapid Roy to third in this one. The Texarkana Emergency Center IRP chassis, Roy Performance Power number 35 is rocking and rolling around the hub of the Boot Hill Speedway with a white flag displayed for your leader, Jason Ingles. Jason Ingles selling it off in a 1 for the final time. He'll head down the back straightaway with his eyes pinpointed to turn number 3. So your winner of RaceOnTexas.com limited modified heat race number 3 of the night goes to racing Jason Ingles out of Longview, Texas. Casey Penn will come home with a 2nd in the 5-star. 3rd will go to Rapid Roy. Aaron Roy with a solid performance. Louisiana. Outside of the Bonham Motorsports 66 out of Fort Worth, Texas, it's Nick Clickenbeard. Nick Clickenbeard in 66. Inside of row number 2, the 81 is Kyle Ingles out of Bossier City. Here comes the Marshall missile, Garrett Gregory, trying to fit it to the outside of the 55. Oh, and Dustin Robinson, they go 3 wide. Back here to the tail, but Grigsby splits both of them and gets the Walmart special 2 for the price of 1. They're side by side for the race lead into the 3 and 4. The 11-year-old Shelby Hinton not going to budge off that middle part of the racetrack, but to the race lead goes 66, and here comes Grigsby. Grigsby putting that PTS power built by John McLemore to the test right now as they go 3 wide, 4 wide off the exit of turn number 2 down the back straightaway. Back for 4th. They were 4 wide momentarily. Grigsby is working his way meticulously to the front in this one. 66, 69, 28, your top 3 right now with Dustin Robinson, the driver who won 21 races at 10 different racetracks back in 2015. Will put the 10 car for the Post-Texan the 3rd. Can the Marshall Missile Garrett Grigsby run down Nick Clickenbeard? Both of these drivers have both won at the Texas Motor Speedway dirt track. Grigsby winning it this season, the Tony Stewart Invitational on night 1. Denny Gabar, of course, won night 2. But Grigsby, this is his stomping grounds. This is your first time ever if you're watching live on raceontexas.com. If you aren't familiar with this driver out of Marshall, Texas, he is always one to beat here in Greenwood. This is his home racetrack, and he takes a lot of pride in being able to defend his home turf. We'll see what he has in store. He has already worked his way to the bridesmaids in this one. Oh, and Grigsby just lost it. An uncharacteristic mistake by the Marshall Missile. And he had enough cushion there on second and allowed him to hold on to that second spot as he dukes a hazard to number 69 through the infield. Dustin Robinson finally able to get by, but Grigsby had separated himself, and he'll go back to second there off the exit of corner number 2. So Grigsby makes an uncharacteristic mistake, but he's able to make up for it there and go back to that second spot. Car might not be quite to the expectation he would like it to be as far as the handling goes on that machine, but it's got plenty of speed, and maybe a tweak here or there will have him right into the mix. You never can tell. If you were to talk to Derek, he'd probably say, man, I just got to push it a little too hard there. He was trying to run down Clickenbeard for the race lead. As you can see, too, there's quite a bit of moisture down there in the 1. He could have easily just hit a slick spot as Hinton, the 11-year-old Shelby Hinton, into the front straightaway wall. The caution flag will wave. He's clicking like Nick does. Nick Clickenbeard, your race leader to the bottom, Motorsports number 66. He'll smash the loud pedal. Grigsby in second. Dustin Robinson third. Here we go. We're backing away from the Boothill Speedway. In heat race number 4 of the night. Sorry, heat race. Yep, heat 4. As they go side by side down the back straightaway, here comes Guidry. Talk with him pre-race. He's got a lot of confidence off that solid runner-up finish here to Ricky Ingles at our last event on May the 27th. Here comes Guidry. Guidry in his express chassis number K1 going to work to the inside of the 10 of Dustin Robinson for third down the back straightaway. Robinson going to rely on that outside line and all the momentum to his advantage. He'll power it into 3. I'm telling you, Dustin Robinson's a shoe, folks. That kid can wheel a car. The 22-year-old out of Post, Texas. Dustin Robinson driving at Revolution Race Products, D&D Dawson Enterprises, Kingdom Tire and Lube. Number 10 right now. Here comes Grigsby for the race lead with a white flag out. Can Grigsby steal this one away from Nick Clickenbeard? Final time in turn number 1. Clickenbeard has the race lead by about 2 car lengths off the exit of corner number 2. The battle for third, a good one as well. Dustin Robinson has found a lane on the outside of the Boothill Speedway, able to keep the K1 of Guidry at bay. Here comes Greenwood to the inside for the race lead on the final lap. He can't get it done. Nick Clickenbeard wins it. Heat race number 4 goes to Clickenbeard. Second goes to the Marshall Missile, Garrett Grigsby in 69. Dustin Robinson at a post.
We need to do 8 out first.
Re-racked and stacked for an original restart down the back straightaway here.
Yeah. And then 22.
Okay.
Garrett Higgins and JoJo Wilhelm making a little bit of contact on the start of this one. They go 3 wide off the exit of corner number 2 momentarily. Storming into turn number 3. Some contact there with a 118. Here comes Jennings. We'll see how much damage the 26G has and if it affects the handling. Tell you, it may have lit a fire underneath the 26G. He may be a little hot under the collar right now. But he's already disposed of 2 up to the 5th spot. Looks like we may have a battle for the race lead here in just a few moments as the 18's cooking it up top, trying to find a lane on the outside of the Boothill Speedway. Down the front boulevard, back into turn number 1. Wilhelm, who has a victory at the Lone Star Speedway at the end of the 2015 season, has not raced much. Talked with JoJo earlier. I think he's only raced 5 or 6 times total since the midpoint of the 2015 season. But he does have a factory stock that he is ready to race here coming up as well with that big money on the line. As the best battle on the speed plant right now is looking to shape up for the 3rd spot as well for the race lead. Chase Gilly, the Baytown Texan, driving the Dust Devil chassis number 42. Has company to the inside of him, the 99 of Mark Underwood Jr., the Team Lyle Pedal Motorsports IRP chassis. Mark Underwood Jr. with a pair of victories at his home racetrack at the Chatham Raceway this year. He's also got 2 wins at Boot Hill a year ago. Underwood undoubtedly knows his way around the Greenwood Oval. But Garrett Higgins looking very impressive tonight, just hugging the hub and able to keep all of his competitors at bay in this one. Underwood Jr. still storming to the low side through 3 and 4, trying to find some dig off the corner number 4 back into 1. Your top 4 have separated themselves from the 26G of J.J. Jennings, who would maybe like to see a caution here with just a few to go. But the center of the hourglass is ticking away, and there's the caution that he hoped for. Lights are... It'll be all right. Backing away down the back straightaway there, side by side for 3rd into turn number 3. Garrett Higgins has led every single lap in this one. And he's been the class of the field so far. Wilhelm still occupies 2nd. Mark Underwood Jr. has finally got the 3rd, and he wants more. He'll go to the inside for 2nd. Not able to get the job done. Wilhelm will sidestep and put him in his hip pocket. Oh, and Wilhelm's done and off the pace because the green is still out. Wilhelm is broke. The 18 is done. Tough break for JoJo Wilhelm, not involved in that caution. Not involved. He's not the reason for the 2011. Doug Vick Jr. out of Vivian, Louisiana took the factory stock victory over James Martin, Cody Myers, Little John Tuggle, Bo Perry, Ricky Burke Jr., Josh Warren, Tracy Cuniff, and Andrew Hartsoe Jr. The lights go out as limited modified action back hot and heavy off of turn number 4 with the green flag in the air. Let's see if Mark Underwood Jr. has anything for Garrett Higgins for the race lead. Since the drop of the green flag in this one, it's been all Garrett Higgins. But here comes Underwood to the inside. Underwood, the Sharky smells blood and water right now, trying to get the scores up here, fired up a little bit. They're still door-to-door in a 1 and 2. Higgins trying to pitch the 99 a little bit lower down on the racetrack. But Underwood says he likes it. He likes it way down to the bottom side. Pinning closer to the Ute tires, his car seems to dig a little bit better. Jennings now on a fight there for 3rd. Jennings facing some early adversity in this one. Ooh, and he nearly lost the handle there off of 2. Car stepped out from underneath him momentarily, gathers it back in as they are still side by side for the race lead off the exit of corner number 4. It's still all Garrett Higgins with 2 laps to go. 2 to go in your 6th and final limited modified heat race presented by R&R Timber, Rollo's Living Auto, J&J Motorsports, and Doggett Equipment. Into turn number 3. Gilly going to sell it up to the outside of the Baytown Texan. Got it rolling up top. Heading off into 1. Gilly, I tell you, he has found something, folks. Maybe running out of time. The center of the hourglass is ticked away. But here we go, folks, for the final time in the 3. Mark Underwood Jr. to the inside for the race lead. They make a little bit of slight contact. They're going to drag race to the line. Underwood to the inside. Not enough. Higgins holds him off. Half of a nose for Garrett Higgins to get the victory here in your 6th and final limited modified heat race over Mark Underwood Jr., who gave 5 inside of 2. Looks like it's Robbie Hickman out of Marshall, Texas in 39. Outside the Orwick Construction, number 60 out of Benton, Louisiana, that should be Mark Barnes. Michael Shaw in the 9 tonight as they go side by side for the race lead on the opening circuit down the back straightaway. Of course, these Pro Mod cars, if you're watching on Race on Texas, they are running the asphalt pull-off slick tire, exactly comparable to what the factory stock division runs. And these things have a lot of horsepower underneath the hood. It's one thing to get that slick tire hooked up. A lot of these competitors are running the older 3-link style modifieds. It was kind of Gene Border's idea to just pull out these older modified frames that are kind of sitting up in the shop, and some of them rusting away, but before the rust gets to them, pull them out and put them to use. Definitely affordable and economical way for guys to get back into racing. Off of 4 with the race lead with the yellow waving as the number 60 of Mark Barnes has expired his entry early in this one. Robbie Hickman out front leading the way in 39.
You don't have to worry.
Back away here at Boothill Speedway, folks. Sorry about that. As the 39 of Robbie Hickman has a commanding race lead through 3 and off the exit at corner number 4 and 39. Hickman, a former factory stock racer, has moved in full-time to this Pro Mod division. He did pick up a big win here at Boot Hill at the end of 2015. He had that Dallas Cowboys wrap on that machine. Robbie Hickman leading the herd into 1. Bradley Barnes trying to find a way. Bradley Barnes second in the open wheel modified point standings here when he was behind the wheel of a Dirtworks chassis here in 2012. Off of 4, it'll be 2 to go. Does Bradley Barnes have anything up his sleeve? The Benton, Louisiana racer is stalking the tail tank of the 39 of Hickman for the race lead. The 48 of the Bedford Bullet, Taylor Ratliff, has expired his entry. Gene Gibson into the 95 rides 3rd. Michael Shaw in the 9 in 4th. White flag waves for Hickman out of Marshall. Off of 2 down the back straightaway for the final time. The Seegers Roofing 39 will get the job done, and he'll cruise and see a face full of checker flag. Robbie Hickman, Pro Mod, heat race number 1 winner tonight here at the Hill. Second goes to the 30 from Benton, Louisiana of Brett Washburn out of Shreveport. If you were here a few weeks ago on May the 27th, you know Mike Washburn was really close to getting a victory here at Boot Hill. And Richard Holt went to victory lane, but it was very close for Mike Washburn as he led, coming down to the, oh my, that's not a good start. They're going to keep him going. Oh, and Washburn says, I'll take advantage. Mike Washburn got the Walmart special times 7. And he's already got the keys on the counter, and he's going to go ahead and check out of the Holiday Inn. And oh, my goodness, around goes Tim Hornaday in 911.
We don't have a original resort. Hey,
Oh my, and it's just as wild this time as it was in the previous start. As we hammer away into 1. Bockham going to put the heat on the Port City performance number 23 for Nolan, and Nolan pushes up the track. Josh Bockham to the race lead. caution flag is going to wave here. The Port City. If y'all hear another voice up here into the booth with me, of course, it's 5-year-old phenom Dylan Knighton. You can call him to the green here, Dylan, but we're back underway. One of your favorite drivers up front leading the way. Oh, and Josh Bockham got a shot in the shorts there in the 1 and 2 by the 27 of Washburn. Kind of washed up the racetrack, and here comes Mikey Mike to the inside for the race lead. But Bockham slammed the door shut, and he said, "Get out of my house." He felt the heat. He has no idea it's Mike Washburn. These guys both have a lot of respect for one another. I'll tell you this, though. Earlier this evening in the pit area after the drivers' meeting, Mike Washburn said, "I probably shouldn't say it. He's just feeling a little confident this weekend is all I'll say." He said, "Get ready to meet me on the front straightaway tomorrow, Zach." And I said, "Hey, I'm always ready." But he was more just fooling about. He is not a very boastful man, but he is confident. And that's if you don't have confidence, then you may have an uphill battle. You got to be confident in your equipment and confident in your ability. He's had a good run here the last several outings at Boothill and as well at Arklatex Speedway. So we'll see if that comes to fruition tonight for Mike Washburn. For all the folks that are watching on Race on Texas, pretty well documented is the battle for the race lead. Into 3, Washburn makes a power move in the 3. That's a power move if I've ever seen one. Got a big run off the exit of 2 and into 3 and disposes of the 25 and separates himself by 3 car lengths into 1 and 2. So now Bockham will chase the tail tank of the 27 of Washburn here to the final few circuits of this Pro Mod heat. Mike Washburn is setting a torrid pace around Boothill right now. Has separated himself by nearly an entire straightaway over Josh Bockham in the 25. Two to go for Mike Washburn. White flag displayed this time for Washburn out of Shreveport, Louisiana. Driver of the Arklatex Sheet Mill and Welding. Not a lot to talk about in this one other than your leader making a few power moves to take over the race lead, and he'll win it. Mike Washburn out of Shreveport takes the Arklatex Sheet Mill and Welding number 27 of Victory Lane and heat race number 2 for the Pro Mods, followed by the 25 out of Benton. The Benton Bullet, Josh Bockham, who has moved over from limited modified action to Pro Mods outside. Glenstone Senior to the 77 inside of 4. The 5-time Arklatex Speedway factory stock track. Or Julian Jason Beasley, of course, but happy anniversary to you guys, man. Two of the nicest folks in dirt track racing. Ronnie Hildebrandt, the reigning track champion here at Boothill in H4. And Robert Graham, who didn't have the run he was looking for in the limited. He'll smash on the loud pedal from the outside of the 3rd row in this one. We are underway. We're back underway heading into 1 and 2. Vic Jr. going to get the advantage over the 16 of Beasley. The Big Show Eric Norris washes up the racetrack, and his teammate Vic Jr. goes by as well as Beasley. Going to try to go by, but he'll go to the inside of Eric Norris there for the 2nd spot. They'll go door to door off the exit of corner number 4. Beasley going to edge ahead by a half of a car length into 1. Eric Norris and Beasley going at it for 2nd. Meanwhile, Vic Jr. getting away up front. Here comes Graham of the 22. Robert Graham going to fight to the inside there and try to take the 4th spot away. He's got it. Eric Norris got really loose there. And he'll even lose that 3rd spot. And Graham will go to 3rd momentarily. Vic Jr. looking to stretch it out on him as we come through turns 3 and 4. Vic Jr.'s hooked up right around the bottom of the racetrack. Beasley likes where his car sticks right to that outside. He's been able to dime it off the corner, off of corner number 4. We'll see what he has in store the remaining laps in this one. It's all Doug Vick Jr., the driver who won the 2011 Cajun Cruiser Classic from the Arklatex Speedway in Vivian, Louisiana. The first driver from the state of Louisiana to win that event at Gene Borders Arklatex Speedway. He has been a mainstay in this Pro Mod division since it started in 2010. Has over 20 victories in this class. He won 14 of them, and 9, particularly here at Boothill back in 2014. Beasley going way high, wide, and handsome there off of 4. Diamond's off the exit of 4. But Robert Graham got a run on him and trying to get within striking distance here, but Graham having a respectable showing, sitting in 3rd. Still trying to reel in the 16 of Beasley for the 2nd spot. Eric Norris has faded back to the 4th spot. Glenn Stone there right behind him, nipping at his heels with 2 laps to go for Vic Jr. Off of 4, the white flag out for Doug Vick Jr. Once again, in that Vic's paint and body, Jeff Bates Performance Powered number 4 is tough break for the 16 of the Gentle Giant. Jason Beasley has all kinds of problems here on the final circuit. But off of 4, your winner goes to Doug Vick Jr. in 4 from Vivian, Louisiana. Your final Pro Mod heat race victor of the night, followed by Robert Graham in the Sears Roofing Hitman Designs 22. Beasley will hold on to grab 3rd. And a dead heat nearly at the line. It looked like Stone in the 77 got the 4 of the Big Show. Eric haven't really quite been able to get the car count we're looking for. We got a decent car count tonight, though. Last event, we only had 3. We've had up to 17 here at Boot Hill. Just looking for more guys to get some cars built. Four-cylinder heat race is underway. Yes, folks, the light is green. We are going. The 17 trying to take the top spot into 1. It's Landon Hazel. Oh, boy. Man, oh, man. Now he's brake checking everyone. I don't know if you saw the RaceOnTexas.com clip a few weeks ago, and this is no throw at Landon Hazel, but he was the one that ran it off into turn 3 real hard and was involved in that melee where we had that 14 4-cylinder take a few tumbles. It looked like he is done and perhaps off the pace for the good in this one. The green is still out, though. Man, there. David Westbrook up front leading the way in this one. Luke Wheat in the 2nd spot. This is a class I've had to learn quite a few of these drivers. 19, a regular over at the Lone Star Speedway. That's Brian Franklin out of Flint, Texas, who occupies the 3rd spot of the 19. Franklin's hitting the chip, isn't he? He's got that 4-cylinder revved out down the front boulevard. The top 3 are about to be caught underneath a blanket here as they go side by side for the race lead through turns 3 and 4. It'll be 2 trips around Boot Hill to find out who's going to win this one. Wheat going to take the race lead. Luke Wheat going to take the top spot into 1. David Westbrook trying to the inside of the 19. I think it's just a matter of time for Franklin. There it is. He gets a big run down the back straightaway into turn number 3. He has his sights set on the back trunk of the 32L of Wheat with the white flag displayed. I believe Franklin's going to get this one done. Watch it. He'll sweep it way to the outside off turn 2, but he'll be able to get on the gas much sooner than the 32L. And this is going to be close coming to the checkers, folks. Watch it. Franklin going to try to go to the inside. How about it? Luke Wheat driving a very smooth final circuit. He'll get the job done and win the 4-cylinder heat race. In here on the outside of the Oswald's Rollos Lubinato Team 91 Motorsports Chassis 18Y for Scott Young from Bossier City. Inside of 2, 5 wins here a year ago. The winningest factory stock driver at Boothill a year ago, the 4 of Doug Vick Jr. Outside, it's the 100. Lee Patton. How about that, folks? Lee Patton behind the wheel of the 100 this weekend. That is an interesting entry. BJ Cook out of Mooring Sport in the 43J. The 7S of Cortland Smith. The 7J is Joshua Funderburk. The 31, Justin Holt out of White Oak, Texas. The 99 of Gary Lipscomb in the Barton Glass 99. We are going at it hot and heavy in factory stock heat race number 1. Off of 4 down the front straightaway. Kelly Lockey going to lead the herd as they go 3 wide for second. How about Lee Patton in a factory stock tonight? He'll work his way to third to the inside of Scott Young. He's got that position into turn number 3. How many transfer, ladies?
Top 3.
The top 3 transfer to tomorrow night's main event. And we've got a melee into 3 and 4. A few cars getting involved. The 31 of Holt is the only car left sitting, stopped at the midpoint of 3 and 4. The 7J of Funderburk and the 7S of Longhorn Classic main event.
They didn't even, I was told that people can get my dog back out here because people didn't like me. I was too mean. And I was like, I could be meaner. I mean, for real.
Back underway in factory stock heat race number 1 of the night here at Boot Hill.
A lot of customers complained that they didn't like me.
The car that Denny Gabar drove to a victory early this season back in February at the Lone Star Speedway. As Kelly Lockey behind the wheel of it, bought it from Randy Copeland not long ago. He leads off the exit of corner number 4 as they're side by side for second. Here comes Lee Patton. Lee Patton, the former Doug Murphy Memorial winner at his own racetrack at Chatham Raceway. As they go down the back straightaway. Once again, the winningest factory stock driver from a year ago had 5 wins here, Doug Vick Jr.
What?
BJ Cook, Dukes of Hazzard style all through the infield. A wild ride for BJ Cook. And he's going to try to cook it back to the front. Seeing some sparks coming out of the left front of the 4 for Doug Vick Jr. You have to think that that may be something significant and something maybe holding up the progress for the 4. You can see it right here, the midpoint into 1 and 2. It's just slightly sparking. We'll see what we can see into turn number 3. You see it much more heavy as he enters turn number 3 than you do into 1 and 2. Doesn't seem to be hurting Vick Jr.'s momentum right now on the 4 car. But Kelly Lockey is setting a pace up front. So once again, folks, the top 3 transfer to tomorrow night's main event. .40 factory stocks have checked into do battle here at the legendary Oval here in Greenwood for the weekend. So once again, the top 3 will transfer. The rest of them will have to run through a B main tomorrow. And if you don't run to the A out of the B, well, you'll put it on the trailer. And we'll see another dirt track Saturday night. So right now, the best battle on the racetrack will be for a driver who would be on the front row of a B main if they could not advance past the 100 of Lee Patton. It's the 18Y of Scott Young rolling the outside of the racetrack, and he gets a shot in the shorts down the front straight over to the 66. Thought that was David Bonham in the 66 tonight. As Greg Frazier and Nick Clickenbeard and the other Bonham Motorsports team cars in limited modified action, but checkers are out in a close one. Vick Jr. was able to reel in the 8 of Lockey, but Lockey able to hold on and get the victory here. So Lockey gets the dub.
8, 4, 1 for Greg, 66, 18Y.
David Bonham grabs the 4 spot. Will be on the front row, possibly of a B tomorrow. The 100, how about Lee Patton from Ruston, Louisiana, grabbing a solid 3rd place finish and transfers to tomorrow's main event. The 4 of Doug Vick Jr., the 5-time track champ over in Vivian. Takes the Vic's Paint and Body Jeff Bates Performance number 4 car to second. That's a brand new car for Vic Jr. He just built just a few weeks ago. And taking the win, how about it for the former Longhorn class? On the pole, it'll be the Nightmare, Michael Knighton in the Styles Automotive number 96 Dominator race car chassis out of Keithville, Louisiana. Outside, hey, it's Colt 45. It's Dean Rasco, and baby, that's all you need. And the Architects Mechanical Services PTS Power Bootlegger chassis number C45. The KTF bodies number 16 for Jason Beasley, driver of the Jay's Lawn Care number 16, will start inside of 2 in his bootlegger chassis. Outside in the Wild Willie Special in the Flores Racing Power number 45 for Cowboy Richard Blanchard from Coshada, Louisiana. Inside of 3 to be the Whataburger sponsored RKT operating 47X or JoJo Wilhelm. Inside of 4. Is it? Yep, it's Bossier City, Louisiana racer Cody Myers, who's got 4 wins here since 2012. Outside it'll be the 68 of the 2014 factory stock track champ James Martin and Ed Cox Jr. rounding out the field. The green flag waves, and we are underway in factory stock heat race number 2. It's the former Quick Race Car Spring Nationals champion of the Nightmare, Michael Knighton, and one of the winningest drivers in Boothill Speedway history, Dean Rasco, from the front row. In the 3 for the first time. Oh, Wilhelm. Michael Knighton is in his 6th start now in 2017 in this new factory stock, I do believe. Still trying to get some kinks ironed out of it, but he has got a good handling car here, it looks like, early on. Michael Knighton leading the herd through 3 and 4. Knighton, like I said, held off Morgan Bagley to win the Spring Nationals at Arklatex in 2009. A huge victory for Knighton. Won the Fall Southern Showdown at Sabine Motor Speedway in an open wheel modified as well. A lot of folks familiarize Knighton in a modified or back maybe in a pure stock truck at the beginning of his career. The battle for the 3rd and final transfer spot was a good one there momentarily as Cowboy Richard Blanchard just gave it up to the 16, but he's going to fight back to the inside of Beasley in the 1 and 2. Right now, that's the best battle on the racetrack. You could throw a blanket over 3rd through 6th. Down the back straightaway. Here comes Wilhelm splitting the gap. In the 3, he'll go to the inside of Cowboy Blanchard. Blanchard's got the lasso out trying to throw it and hook the tail tank of the 16 to pull him to him.
He's still trying to put the gap on it.
That's right, Dylan. Here you go. How about Dad? He's up front leading the race in this one. Be a silly question to ask you if Dad can hold on to win, but what do you think? Can Dad hold on and win this one?
I would think so.
Think so. Well, last weekend, I asked you a few times if a few drivers could hold on, and you said you thought so, and they did. So, feeling pretty good about it. But he's got Dean Rasco nipping at his heels. He's a wily veteran that knows his way around Boot Hill. He's probably got a few more laps than your dad does here at Boot Hill. I don't think it's going to make a difference right now. As Rasco is out for the first time in 2017. How about that? Dean Rasco having an outstanding performance in his first start of the 2017 season here at his home racetrack. In a factory stock, that is. He did win a trophy dash here on night number 2 of the 20. Oh, and around goes Blanchard into 1 and 2. Blanchard. And I don't think he ever came to a complete stop, but the caution's still going to wave on 45, it appears. So ready to drop the hammer. Michael Knighton going to put his foot through the floorboard and set the pace with the herd nipping at his heels as we are backing away here for the Boothill Speedway in factory stock heat race number 2 of the night. Heading off into 1, Nightmare. Going to lead them down the back straightaway. Tell you, the Colt 45 of Dean Rasco was, yeah, he was knocking on Michael Knighton's back door like a trick-or-treater with a sweet tooth there for just a few moments, but Knighton says he's the one that's supposed to scare all you folks, and he'll keep him off the front porch for right now. So Knighton is trying to throw the keys on the counter and check out here. Finally able to distance himself and feel comfortable. Man, Cowboy Blanchard's had a wild ride here. And the irony, he is in the Wild Willie Special. Hey.
Your winner goes to the Nightmare.
Your winner goes to the Nightmare, Michael Knighton in 96. So Michael Knighton going to hold him off and fend off all comers. Second goes to the Colt 45 of the Arclitex Mechanical Services. C45 of Dino Dean Rasco. How about that? Good to see. Inaugural 10,000 on King of the Hill event. He's a former Cajun Classic winner, a former Longhorn Classic winner, a former Armadillo Nationals champion. Ronald Pilkington, one of the best to do it in the factory stock division here in the region. As one already scooting it and spinning it around in 1 and 2, but he gets it fired back up. We're clean and green. Off of 4, Little John Tuggle leads his first heat race lap of the 2017 season here at Boot Hill. Look at this gaggle of cars into 1. Oh, and around goes Roback in the 9L. And we will probably, yep, we get caution. Seen and made a lot of people say, who is this guy? Well, he's a shoe, folks. He can wheel a car just like his pops. Former track champion here, Cliff Tupper, of course, but Cody has been very, very impressive. We'll see what he has here on the restart. David Roy back there with Bo Perry, Ronald Pilkington. There's some good shoes in this one. It's going to be fun to watch. See how far up front these guys can come. Oh, on the restart, David Roy nearly got loose there. He and Shaver made some contact down the front straightaway right there before the entrance to turn number 1. Roy going to fight to the inside into turn number 3. Bo Perry's worked his way to the third and final transfer spot off of corner number 4. The 7 up and 10 go at it door to door. Make 7 up yours to the inside for the 4th spot. David Roy. He's got it. David Roy up to the 4th spot down the back straightaway. Here comes Rollo. Rollo now going to pick one off the inside of the 10 of Shaver. Shaver going to keep fighting there to his outside, but not for long as Rollo, as the caution comes out.
Tell them Pops is listening on Race on Texas.
Lights are out.
You heard it, folks. The lights are out. Dylan Knighton with the call. Little John Tuggle, your leader, Dylan. Off of 4, we're backing away. Tuggle puts his foot through the floorboard. I'm telling you, there are some very good racers in this one. They're trying to carve their way from the tail up to the front. Here comes Ronald Pilkington. He had just disposed of that 10 car previous to the caution. And look at Rollo. He's going to be the guy to watch coming down to the final wire. He is looking to get 2 for the price of 1 off of 4. Watch this run Rollo may get. Ew, but Cody Tupper had to slam the door shut. Ronald Pilkington has found something on the outside of the Boothill Speedway, and the car is coming to him. The car likes it, and his right foot likes it as well. Undoubtedly the fastest car right now in this heat race is Pilkington. If we had transponders, I believe they would prove me right on this one. He storms to the outside and takes that spot from Roy, and now he's going to try to the outside of the 23 of Tupper there for the 3rd spot. The center of the hourglass may be ticking away for a victory in this one, but how about Bo Perry? Bo Perry pressuring the 175 for the race lead. Okay, we still got, are they running 10? Okay, so we still have plenty of time. We got 5 in and 5 to go. I thought he was showing 2 to go when he grabbed the 2 sticks. So they're cross sticks, not 2 sticks parallel. So it'll still be fun to watch Bo Perry try to take over the race lead from Tuggle and the 22 for the Marshall Texan Ronald Pilkington as they come down the stripe. Oh, and he gives Tupper another shot in the shorts down the front boulevard. If he hadn't let Tupper know that, hello, I'm here enough, then he's about to find out again, maybe. Down the back straightaway. They're going to go 3 wide into turn number 3. 7 up on the bottom of the hub. The 23 of Tupper right in the middle, and Pilkington has to get on the binders once again. They're door for 3rd for the 3rd and final transfer spot into 1 and 2. Oh, a tough break, heartbreak hotel for the 24 of Perry. He'll make the hard right turn on the Elvis Presley Boulevard. Tough break for Perry in this one. As 2 to go, Tuggle likes it. He's got some breathing room now. He can finally breathe. We'll see if Pilkington, though, can steal this 3rd and final transfer spot away from Tupper. As I was just bragging about Cody Tupper prior to this race going green of how far he has come in this sport in a short period of time as a youngster, is holding off one of the best to do it in the factory stock ranks right now as we head back off into one for the final time. The white flag being waved by Keith Parker. Ronald Pilkington letting it hang all out up top. Looking for a big run down the back straightaway for the final time in the 3. He's been patient with the 23. He's given him a few shot in the short for the final time off of 4. Your winner going to go to Little John Tuggle. David Roy to second. At the line, Pilkington gets him by half of a cat's whisker. What a run for Pilkington. You knew that it was possible, and Pilkington pulls the trigger and... Bubba McEachern in the 0. How about that, folks? Dylan Knighton. Bubba McEachern, outside pole. That's one of his favorite racers. Had to let him call it. Cameron Furr inside of row number 2. Outside is the 5 of Paul Lopez. Inside of row number 3. I got to get a good look. That's Matthew Sexton, I believe, in the 0-2. And we're going to go at it hot and heavy. They're 2 by 2 by 3 wide there for the tail. Here comes Jay Will. Jacob Wilburn going to fight down the back straightaway to the inside of the 24 to the Crystal Auto Collision. Entries are 3 wide for transfer through 3 and 4. Man, it's just now heating up at Boothill. The racetrack is getting good. And it's unfortunate because we're getting down to the nitty gritty and we only have a few races left for the night. Down the back straight. Oh, and one coming around right in front. Is that the 333 Okay, it's the Triple C. Yep.
Cotton comes out.
The Caddo Correctional Center car. Lights are out, going back green here at the hill. And your final factory stock heat of the night, Bubba McEachern, your race leader to the 0. The hero on the loud pedal, we're back on our way.
On the way to green.
Down the boulevard into 1.
Here comes the 1. Here comes Paul.
Oh, we got trouble down the back straightaway. It looked to be tougher than that. Lopez rode the wall.
Paul's in the ball, and Caution cut.
Service media organization tailored directly towards the Arklatex region and the great state of Texas and beyond. Arklatex Speedway, Lone Star Speedway, Boothill Speedway, Timberlawn Speedway. We have nearly every single race, every lap, every thrill and spill, every burn and turn throughout the entire 2017 season. All on demand for only $8 a month. You can't beat it, folks. Yeah, I'll talk a little about that in just a few moments as here comes Jay Will. The opening night Boothill Speedway factory stock winner in 66 is working his way to the front. He'll pull to the back tail tank of the young man of the Gladewater Texan, Cameron Furr, as Furr goes to the inside of the Crystal Auto Collision 24 of Dylan Adams. Adams out of Bossier City. I tell you what, Dylan Adams is racing with a heavy heart this weekend. Just lost his grandma a few days ago, and there's something to be said for a driver who's racing with a little bit of added motivation. I have seen Dylan Adams win a main event here, the only main event win of his career at Boothill back in 2010. He beat Dustin Hampton here and led every lap of the main event. So he knows his way around. And we'll see if he can claw and fight and grab this win away from Bubba McEachern. Right now, the Gladewater Texan Cameron Furr, the 18-year-old, has the 3rd and final transfer spot in the bag. But here comes Wilburn, opening night winner here at Boothill. That HM chassis, best engine power number 66. He's to the inside of the 11 of the Elysian Fields Texan, Travis Bowden. I'm telling you, you could throw a blanket right now over the top 5. It's tighter than the top string on a Texas fiddle. Into turn number 3, Dylan Adams rolling right to the center of the Boothill Speedway. We're 5 in, 5 laps to go. Who's it going to be? Bubba McEachern's driven a flawless race to this point, making his car wider than a triple wide trailer. Right now, they're 3 wide for the 3rd and final transfer spot. They were momentarily. The 11 of Bowden didn't quite get the run off the exit of corner 2 like he had wanted to as they power into 3. I'm telling you, Jay Will has got it coming on strong now. He's up to 3rd. And he's about to be knocking on the back door to the Bossier City native Dylan Adams. Say, hello, will you let me in? Like I said, my heart and my thoughts and prayers go out to Dylan Adams, his entire family. The loss of his grandmother this week. Like I said, I know he's racing with a very heavy heart. And I know he wants to have a good run this weekend. And Jay Will is putting the heat all over him here for the second spot. Will going to go to the outside through 3 and 4 and 66. Jacob Wilburn, who dethroned Justin Whitehead here on the opening night battle at Boothill. As they head off into one, Jacob Wilburn, I'm telling you, this racetrack is getting awfully racy. It just makes you want to go ahead and start tomorrow night's program. The white flag coming out this time by for Bubba McEachern out of Minden, Louisiana. Driving the Foxworth Welding F1 Racing Engine Power, Troy's Auto Salvage, JRP Products. Number 0 in that crewed off race car with the Donovan Owens F1 built power underneath the hood. They're door-to-door for second. Off of 4. Dylan Adams going to hold Wilburn at bay, but your winner goes to Bubba McEachern out of Minden, Louisiana. The hero in the 0 gets the job done. So your unofficial top 4, the Camco number 1 out of Gladewater, Texas, the 18-year-old Cameron Furr. 3rd out of Highlands, Texas, down around Hughes 75. Inside of 2, it's Rance Prince. He'll make you dance. Outside is Rapid Roy, Aaron Roy. Rapid Roy, the stock car boy. 35 out of Red Lick, Texas. The Marshall Missile, Derek Grigsby in 69. Outside, it's
Here comes McLean.
Johnny.
We're off to the start. Somebody forgot. Well, now anyway, they had the strongest 3-way. It's still 3-way. We have a battle for third. We still do. No. Battle for fourth now. And it's still going on.
Dylan.
Caution out.
Well, I didn't know that. Shoot. I did not. Denny Gabar out of Frankston, Texas. Going to lead the herd. How about this? I'm telling you right now.
Caution out.
With Roy, Grigsby, Ball, and Guyber, I mean, I can't think of a tougher first few rows in this one. As Gabar leads them into 1 and 2. Roy going to roll the hub to the inside of the B75. Roy and Ball have went toe-to-toe at Timberline Speedway and had some good runs over the last few years. As Brandon Ball going to sell it off through 3 and 4 to the outside of the 8 of Gabar and look for a big run down the front boulevard, and he's going to find it. Down the front straight over there for the race lead into 1 and 2. I'm telling you, this racetrack is, right now, it's A-OK is what I'll say. Into 3, they're door-to-door still for the race lead. It's the B75 who switched his number from B17 to B75 to honor his grandfather. Into 1, Ball, trying to find something. The former Tootsie Smith Memorial Champion of the driver who crossed underneath the checkers first here a year ago. Unfortunately, a disqualification knocked him out of the main event. And Joel Cuvion inherited the $5,000 victory. Right now, the Marshall Missiles door-to-door. Around goes Rance Prince. Not the kind of dancing he wants to do for the Sibley racer. So Rance.
If Dale can get us there, get the
Derek
win.
Grigsby, of course, right? Yeah. He's speaking to Derek Grigsby in the 69. He said maybe Derek can get up there. He's been watching the 69. He knows he's got a good car. And here comes Grigsby. The home track for the Marshall Texan, the Marshall Missile, Derek Grigsby. He's going to go to second. You called it, DeLeon. And he slid right up in front of the Farmerville Freight Train in B75. He'll take the bridesmaids here momentarily. Here comes Ball back to his inside. Brandon Ball, one of the winningest limited modified drivers over the last several seasons, as well as the Missile from Marshall. Right now, the top 3 cars, I would say, are undoubtedly, minus Jason Ingles not being on the track. If Ingles was out there with him, I would say that that's probably your top 4 limited modified drivers right now in the Arklatex. I'm not sure in which order, but they're all very good and can hold their own. Something not quite right with Rapid Roy, Aaron Roy's 35 car. The car was very good in the first round of heats, and something not to be desired in this one. That car is just not handling quite the expectation. As you can see, he's lost a few spots. Ew, and Ball slammed the door shut of the front straightaway right at the flag stand on the Carbon Texan in 95 of Gabe Tucker. Tucker got the door shut right in front of his face. What do you think, Dylan? Grigsby, he's the second, but Gabar is running away.
See if he can catch up, pass it, and
He's got 5 laps to find out. We'll see if he can catch him. So Garrett Gregory, who knows his way around Boothill, but Denny Gabar does as well. Remember, it's not necessarily where you finish in these races. It is very important, but it's about how many cars you pass to get to where you finish. You want to get those finishing points as well as a half a point per car that you pass. I assume we're using USMTS style passing points. But if not, the name of the game is still passing cars. And passing points, very, very important.
2 laps.
2 laps to go.
Here comes Dave for the white flag.
Dylan Knighton calling the shots. The white flag is out. Oh my. The battle for third right here. Austin Wilkins into 1. This is a good one between Ball and the 95 of Tucker. Tucker just threw a nasty slide job on him through 3 and 4 that last time by. I'm not sure Ball's going to be able to get there to return the favor. Off of 4, a face full of checkered flag goes to Denny G. Denny Gabar, your winner out of Frankston, Texas. And a Marshall, Garrett Gregory, 2nd and 69. And 95 for the Carbon Texan, Gabe Tucker brings his Hughes by 89 Motorsports chassis to 3rd. 4th, we'll go to the freight train out of Farmerville, Louisiana. TC champ. Inside of 2. Is that Cortland? Folks, I apologize. It really is hard to see up here sometimes. I really do apologize. I think, yep, that is Cortland Smith. In the 10, it's Dustin Robinson out of Post, Texas in the 10. The 1, how about it for the Falk Arkansas racer, BJ Moore. He's won in open wheel mods, street stocks, you name it. Great to see BJ Moore back in the saddle. Man, just avoiding that was BJ Moore as your pole sitter in the 7 from Shongaloo Williams looped it right in front of him and set up a... Ready to turn them back loose. The former Louisiana State Dirt Track champ Cliff Tupper Jr. going to lead them to the point here in 3 and 4. We are back underway. Sorry. And that's my mistake once again. That's the IRP number 23 of Cody Tupper. Either way, they both won the LSDTC in 2015.
The 10 got a really good start off, and they're trying to make no way.
For you folks that may be watching on Race on Texas, I hope I'm not frustrating you guys with the lineups tonight. I'm telling you.
Where to get around here?
No, every single one of these guys,
Battle
the
for the
majority,
oh, no.
throughout these heat races tonight.
It's still going.
Said about the lighting here at time. That Henry's Auto Salvage entry at the bottom of 4. And Williams, who was the initial pole sitter to this race before looping it there and had to restart at the till, involved in another caution. Go ahead, Dylan.
Seems like a wreck for me around here. We ought to get a wreck around here.
I'll tell you all this. 10 years from now, well, he's going to take my job one day. All right? Tell him to come out here on the roof. Oh. Why I got to be on camera? I know we're live. But anyway.
Watch out. And we're back on the way. That's a good start for the 10. Oh, maybe not. Going back for a second. Here comes the 10 for the he's up. He wants to do it.
He wants the lead, doesn't he, Dylan? The 10 of Dustin Robinson, who Dylan was speaking of, who got 2nd there. BJ Moore to 3rd. They're side by side for the race lead. Who you got, Dylan? The 10 or the 23?
I already got the 23.
You got the 23? Not a bad call. The young man, Cody Tupper, knows his way around the Boothill Speedway. Won the Louisiana State Dirt Track Championship here 2 years ago. He's got the race lead down the back straightaway, but Dustin Robinson, that young man, guess how many races he won in 2015? I said it a few times tonight. He won 21 times at 10 different racetracks in 2015. And he's going to go to the inside for the race lead and put the pressure all over Tupper. Two youngsters, the 22-year-old out of Post, Texas in second, and the young man out of Bossier City, Louisiana, the 20-year-old, rides still up top, leading the way here at the Boothill Speedway in your second heat of round 2.
Take 2 laps around. And go right check them.
So Tupper still continues to lead here. Off of turn number 4, it'll be 2 laps to go to settle the score here to the Boothill Speedway in your second heat in round 2. As Tupper is not budged off that top shelf and Robinson's not budged off the bottom. I'll tell you, hats go off and hands go up, hands go down for Tim and all the folks that have prepared this racetrack. I talked with Jason Ingles earlier, and he said, you know, I had to prepare this thing for about a year and a half, and it's not really easy. You know, the sun gets to beating down. A lot of hard work goes into track preparation, but Tim and those guys are doing a fantastic job as we get a caution here on the final lap. With the 7cc involved in his third caution of this race, is planted into the midpoint of 3 and 4, and he's able to get it back going.
All right, Keith, that was our 11th lap.
2010, he finished second here in a big 3,000 win Battle of Boot Hill main event presented by Chevyland. And the lights. It's a green-white finish. The next flag is going to be the checkers. Here comes. Cody Tupper gets the win. Dustin Robinson gave it all he had down there, didn't he, Dylan? That 10 car threw it, pressured the 23, but it. Who is that? Who is that? Is that him? Is that Chris Hennigan?
Yeah, it's Joel.
Okay, thank you. On the pole of this one, driving the backup car this weekend, the ASI-powered Express chassis number 16. Typically has a 30 on it. Kay Dillard's willed that car to a victory down at Sabine this season. But it's Whitehead, Chris Hennigan out of Marshall, Texas. Chris Hennigan behind the wheel of Joel Cuvillon's backup number 16. Of course, Cuvillon, the reigning $5,000 winner of this event. Outside of the 66X, that'll be Greg Frazier. Inside of 2, the 26G for Corpus Christi, Texas. How about it for the Hughes by 89 Motorsports chassis for J.J. Jennings? How about it racing Jason Ingles? That's some good cars in this one with Uncle Ricky Ingles, your most recent winner here on May the 27th, starting inside of 3 with Barry Hornbeck, who led the first 30 or so laps of the 2013 running of the Tootsie Smith Memorial in Vivian. Some very good shoes up near the front in this one. They're 3 wide off the exit of corner number 2 down the front straightaway. Ingles, who won last year's Louisiana State Dirt Track Championship on a final corner pass over John O. Whittington. As right now in the 3, the 16 of Winnigan, Chris Hennigan, one of the all-time winningest racers from the Arklatex area out of Marshall. I talked with Chris yesterday a little bit and just kind of talked a little bit about his modified program and the alliance that he and Jason Ingles have formed and plan to debut a new car here coming up. Just hasn't been rushing it, if you will. But Jason just won the modified event here at our most recent race. It held off Chris, who finished second that night. So Chris is very excited, and Jason as well, for those 2 guys to form an alliance and see if they can't do something special with IRP chassis modifieds. Jason's very, very satisfied with what he's got right now with limited modifieds across the Mid-South. He has sold a bunch of these cars. They've been very competitive no matter where you go. But he would love to get his modified program back up to par, I guess you could say, with where the limited modified program is right now. They're off of 4. It's an express chassis leading the way with a hot chassis in second. And the owner and builder of IRP chassis, Jason Ingles, in the 3rd spot. So nephew's 3rd, Uncle Ricky in the 4th spot in 81. J.J. Jennings gets disposed of there by the 81 of Ricky Ingles, but he'll fight back to his outside off of 4. Jennings using that outside line of the momentum to his advantage. Tell you, the race up front's a pretty good one. Greg Frazier is doing everything he can. He's keeping Chris Hennigan within striking distance. So into 1. Frazier trying to pull to the tail tank of the 16 of Hennigan. Hennigan's so smooth here in Greenwood. Chris Hennigan scoring a $1,600 victory at the Ardmore, Oklahoma, Southern Oklahoma Speedway in a Tom's East Series race about a month and a half ago. Hard to believe that Chris Hennigan had not won a Louisiana State Dirt Track Championship until 2012 here at this Greenwood Oval. You know, talking about with his son Dustin racing those mini wedge carts and winning the main event here on May the 27th. Talked all the way back to Ace Hennigan, to Chris's father, Tommy Joe Hennigan, to Chris, and now his son Dustin and his daughter Brooklyn, who are racing. Chris has been a mainstay, over 200 career victories, so the driver out front leading the way in this one. 2 to go for the Marshall Texan win again, Chris Hennigan. Chris Hennigan has won the Texas Motor Speedway World Dirt Track Championship in a modified back in 2006 to be exact. He's always a threat no matter what. He's built a few of these factory stock cars in 2017 for Josh Warren. That car finished second to Justin Whitehead in the Cajun Classic 5,000 win finale with Ingles behind the wheel, Jason Ingles, last October. And off of 4, it's the Hennigan show in this one. Win again, Chris Hennigan takes the checkers over Greg Frazier in 66. Racing Jason Ingles comes home 3rd over the Corpus Christi Texan J.J. Jennings in the used by 89 Motorsports chassis 26. Brandon Hightower from DeVille, Louisiana on the pole of heat race number 3 outside. Caution going to come out immediately. The Spears Oil and Gas 22 Maga Dylan Spear comes to a halt, facing the wrong direction on the front chute. South Texas Speedway, inside of 2. It's the 260 to the Dust Devil chassis of Eric Thorne of the Baytown Bullet from Baytown, Texas. Mark Underwood Jr. alongside Dylan Spear to Marshall in the 22 Mag. Outside the 91 of Craig Oaks. The 7C is Colby Williams for Shongaloo. Garrett Higgins, who won his heat race earlier in a Dandy in round 1, as we are in round 2, hot and heavy. Cliff Tupper Jr. starting at the tail of the field in this one of the 23. He's going to pick up 2. And they're 3 wide at the tail through 3 and 4. Our leading lap 1 goes to Garrett Gregory. It is great to have the Tom Ball Texan here this weekend. As right now, down the back straightaway there, 1 by 2 by 2 by 1, your top 6. The 148 of Garrett Gregory continues to lead off of 4. The K9 of the Grant Shelton Worldwide Tire Express chassis of DeVille, Louisiana's Brandon Hightower, the 18-year-old, off of 2 down the back straightaway. Gets a power run into turn number 3. This car right here has won some big events with Shane Hebert behind the wheel, as well as Michael Robertson, the Iceman, off of turn number 4 down the front straightaway. As we got some cars tangled up there for a moment in the 3 and 4. Looked like the 7 of the caution is out. Maybe for debris.
How's that going right now?
Oh my goodness, Dylan Spear, they're going 3 wide there in the 1 and 2. And they nearly got bottled up there. A few of them had to get on the binders, but man, it is some tight racing right now. These guys know that they have got to go, and they've got to go now to get what they can get. Every position so valuable on the racetrack. Every point, every passing point you can get is going to go into a basket and help you out for how you're going to line up in a qualifier or or maybe to lock you into the main event. Oh, and Dylan Spear, my goodness gracious. Spear is giving it, well, let's be honest, he's giving it HEL double hockey sticks right now.
Looks like it's taking it 10 to go around Boothill.
So right now, the 148 of the Tomball Texan, Garrett Gregory, has separated himself by a half of a straightaway in this one. Down the back straightaway into 3. Mark Underwood Jr. to the team Loud Pedal Motorsports is on that Loud Pedal, no doubt about it. Off of 4, Underwood going to take the second spot away from the 91 of Oaks. Those IRP race car chassis run 2 and 3 respectively on the racetrack right now with an express back and forth with the DeVille's Brandon Hightower. And the 5th spot, here comes Cliff Tupper. I'm telling you what, Cliff Tupper Jr. started way back in this one. Wait a minute. It's not Tupper, that's 37H at Garrett Higgins. Sorry again, folks. The Boothill Speedway strikes again. I'm telling you, if my mom was watching this broadcast, she would probably come and pick me up right now and take me to the eye doctor. But nonetheless, off of 4, Garrett Gregory, I can tell you this much. He is putting the absolute whooping on these boys in this heat race. This young man raced open wheel modifieds for quite some time. He's always been very competitive in the limited and modified ranks, like I said. When he had a Hooter sponsor on the side of that car, he won the $5,000 to win South Texas Shootout down in Corpus Christi, Texas at the South Texas Speedway. And the caution is going to wave with only 1.5 laps to go. Not sure for the reason of the caution. Could be debris. Backing away on the restart. We had gotten down to under 2 to go, and the caution flag waved, so we'll see 1 to go this time by at the flag stand. Garrett Gregory from Tomball, Texas, led every lap in this one. Will someone steal it away here late in the going? Craig Oaks still door-to-door with the 99 of Mark Underwood Jr. Oh, and we got 2 around, the 22 mag of Spear, the 23 of Tupper, and the 81 of Ingles all come to a stop, and we may get yellow checkers. Yellow checkers are coming out. Oh, my. And Craig Oaks going to take the second spot away at the flag stand from the 99 of Mark Underwood Jr. Is the 6-time Cajun Cruiser Classic champion of the Spencer & Son Timber Sames Ford, Corpus Christi, Texas' oldest dealership. RaceOnTexas.com, the Foam Pros. Number 36J, the 3-time Louisiana State Dirt Track Championship winner. Folks, I want to throw this stat out here for you. I did some research this week. And thanks to Justin Whitehead for helping me out with some of this. But this driver has over 200 career wins. But I'll tell you this. Y'all seen Justin Whitehead's dominance in a factory stock as of late. This driver has won how many? 134 races since 2012. 134 A-main wins since 2012. Folks, I ain't blowing smoke up that boy's rear end, but he can wheel a race car. I'm telling you, that's a lot of victories since 2012. A lot of them coming in an outlaw chassis factory stock, but he does have 14 limited modified wins to his credit as well, just since 2012. He matched his car number of 36 wins in 2014. He's already got 12 this season. He'll try to get his 13th this weekend. I think a lot of factory stock guys are probably happy that he didn't bring the... Down the front straightaway, we are underway in your final limited modified heat of the afternoon for round 2. Justin Whitehead has got something working to the outside through 3 and 4. We're clean and green, no harm, no foul. We had 1. The 118 of Tyler Morgan coming around there, but he got it ironed back out, headed down the back straightaway. We are good. And there's the caution. Caution maybe out for debris. I'm not quite sure. sells, he goes and donates to the Parker Lee Project and other great organizations. But I want to thank Charlie Milner for tuning in tonight to RaceOnTexas.com's live pay-per-view, as well as Brad Franks, Bad Brad, the former Louisiana State dirt track champion, a former Arklatex champion. Brad Franks, grew up watching him. He was one of the best to ever get the job done as they go side by side for the race lead here in limited modified action right here at Boothill Speedway, where guys like Brad Franks have had many stories of success. Off of 4, it's Justin Whitehead. And he takes the race lead by half of a cat's whisker into 1. Guidry, it's an IRP to the outside and an express to the inside. Guidry nearly lost the handle. Car got out from underneath him there just a little bit. Kind of slid it right there to the midpoint of 1 and 2. Lost some momentum, and that allows the 6-time Cajun Cruiser Classic winner Justin Whitehead to the race lead, and he's got about a 5-car length advantage as he heads off into 1. Justin Whitehead taking the helmet off on Friday nights and trading it in for the promoter cap, and he has done a fine job over the Timberline Speedway owned by Billy and Kim White in Corley, Texas. Justin Whitehead not racing on Friday nights, just talked about him picking up 134 wins since 2012. Very impressive. But forming this alliance here with Sames Ford and RaceOnTexas.com in the midpoint of the 2017 season. Race on Texas looking pretty good there on the skirt of that 36J car. But he's got many other great sponsors and folks that help him out and get him up and down the road. Spencer and Son Timmer, Bordelon Septic, Mike Parker. One of the nicest guys in motorsports. Foam Pro's a new sponsor for him as well. Justin Whitehead up front setting a torrid pace. A lot of folks wonder, will he hop out of the factory stock? What will he do in a limited? Well, he proved that a few years ago. And right now he's marching away from his competition in this one, the final heat race of the night. Off of 4, Whitehead. Down the front boulevard in 36J, hammering it. The Chicken Express 66 clicking like Nick Clickenbeard. The K1 of Guidry in 3rd. Rawls in the 4G, back to the 4th spot in 5th at Shreveport, Louisiana's Casey Penn. Superstar Tyler Owens in 6th. This one not quite as competitive as the last few limited modified heat races. So it's 2 sticks, 2 more trips around. It's 1.5 laps to go, and Whitehead meets the midpoint of the back straightaway, and he did. He's through 3. And he'll roll off a 4 to receive the white flag from flagman Keith Parker. Justin Whitehead up front, setting a torrid pace here at the Boothill Speedway. So Justin Whitehead won his first ever Louisiana State Dirt Track Championship here in a factory stock in the 38th annual event. And his father won it the season prior to that, and then Whitehead won it again the following year. And off of turn number 4, Justin Whitehead, your winner out of Hooks, Texas. Second, we'll go to Nick Clickenbeard in 66. K1 of Guidry out of Marksville, Louisiana will grab 3rd in his express chassis. Garrett Rawls will hold off the 5 of Casey Penn from Shreveport. That'll be your top 5 in the second round. .com Foam Pros, Spencer and Son Timber, Bordelon. The crowd we had here for that one. There was around 1,700 people here in the grandstands. We'd love to pack the house like we did that night, of course. The alternative, of course, folks, is RaceOnTexas.com. They can watch every lap, every thrill and spill, every burn and turn live in 1080p HD with announcer audio. So if you tuned in tonight, for all the folks watching, we hope you can tune back in tomorrow night if you're not able to make it here to Greenwood, Louisiana. So as we get ready to go with our final race of the night, I'll head down and get a post-race interview with the victor of this one. It's going to be Luke Weed on pole in 32L with Brian Franklin outside out of Flint. Brian Franklin jumps out to the early race lead. I knew he would be a Miss Susie, you called that one earlier. You said Franklin wanted that outside starting spot in the main event, and we're going to get caution early. Folks, if you're looking, you're buckled up, especially if you have young ones or anything like that. If you've had a few cold ones at the racetrack, please have a designated driver. We don't want anyone getting hurt, and we definitely don't want you that story can be told by itself. You guys know. So just be safe, headed home. Be blessed, be a blessing. We want to see you back here tomorrow night. So right now, the Flint Texan Brian Franklin has the race lead in 19. Luke Wheat still occupies second and 32. L off of turn number 4. David Westbrook and 00D in third. Oh, and your race leader, Brian Franklin, just lost it right in front of the field. Did he lose the whole left rear, or right rear tire? Or is that just the... Oh, yeah, that's the tire too, isn't it? My, oh my. I thought he just lost the hubcap. Spot on the restart when we go back green. Chuck Rainwater in the 11C here too as well, and get some post-race interviews for the broadcast tomorrow to be played prior to the main event or prior to your races. So I would like to get a recap from what you guys experienced tonight. So if y'all could hang out for a few moments. If you know you had a good night tonight anyway, I understand if you do have to leave. But, you know, guys like Brandon Ball that I know had a really good run tonight. Derek Grigsby, a few of the other guys that I know, just without having to look at anything that had good runs. Y'all try to... I always say you never want to leave until that final checkered flag waves, and here's exactly why. You never know what's going to... Oh, my goodness, man. That kid is... You know what? Maybe I shouldn't say that on the mic, but that kid has ran over a few cars the last few weeks, man. It might be time for him to learn some driving lessons there. My goodness gracious. Okay, Ricky, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said that. I just...